Some of y'all keep calling it forgiveness. But if you were honest, you're scared nobody else is coming. You know you cry more than you smile. You know you keep lowering your standards. You know you keep explaining basic respect to somebody who should already get it. But every time you get ready to walk away, fear starts talking. What if I end up alone? What if I never find better? What if this is all I get? So you stay and call it love. Some of y'all are not forgiving people because you're healed. You're forgiving people because you are emotionally terrified to start over. Because starting over sounds good in motivational quotes until it's really you. Really alone, really grieving, really sitting in silence, really missing somebody that hurt you. That's why people go back. Not always because the relationship was beautiful, but because loneliness feels heavier in the moment. There is nothing wrong with wanting companionship. Nothing wrong with wanting love, connection, warmth, affection. But some of y'all have gotten so afraid of being alone, you will hold on to almost anybody. Even people who constantly disappoint you. Even people who barely show up emotionally. Even people you gotta beg to communicate, beg to care, beg to choose you correctly. That's not forgiveness. That's fear. And the cold part is, some people know you're afraid to leave. That's why they keep doing just enough. Just enough attention. Just enough affection. Just enough apologies. Just enough effort to keep you emotionally hooked. But never enough consistency to give you peace. Some of y'all have become so used to emotional struggle, peace feels boring now. Because healthy love doesn't usually feel chaotic. Healthy love is calm, consistent, safe. But when your life trains you to expect inconsistency, you start mistaking anxiety for passion. You think longing is love. No. Sometimes you're just attached to the struggle. A lot of people are not scared of losing the person. They're scared of losing the feeling of being chosen. So even when the relationship becomes painful, people still hold on because at least somebody wants me. That's a dangerous place to love from. Once your fear of loneliness becomes stronger than your self-respect, you start accepting things you never thought you would tolerate. Disrespect, half-love, broken promises, emotional neglect. You start calling survival commitment. And one day you wake up emotionally exhausted, wondering, why do I feel so empty? Because you keep abandoning yourself to avoid being abandoned by others. Sometimes being alone is exactly what you need. Not forever, just long enough to hear yourself again. Long enough to remember what peace feels like. Long enough to stop confusing attention with love. When you finally become okay being alone, your standards change automatically. Now you stop chasing potential, stop forcing chemistry, stop over-explaining your worth. Now you can say, this doesn't feel right for me, and leave without falling apart. Being alone for a season may feel uncomfortable, but staying in relationships that slowly destroy your self-worth, that costs more. That drains deeper. That changes how you see yourself. You deserve relationships that feel safe, mutual, consistent, reciprocal. Not relationships where you gotta constantly recover from the same person. Because some of y'all keep calling it forgiveness. But if you were honest, you're scared nobody else is coming.